protected under the natural law of the Creator of all. It is this treaty that not only benefits the First Nations people, but it benefits all people of the island. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, those chiefs that signed the treaty, that signed our way of life, with the right to freedom, with the right to be who we are. Chief James Roberts of the Lackawanna Indian Band, Chief William Charles of Montreal Cree Nation, and of course Chief Peter Valentine of Peter Valentine Cree Nation were the first chiefs to take part in the 1889 February 11th Treaty 6 Adhesion. So we ask of all of you, as we call upon our elder for this morning's invocation. This elder walks among our people in prayer, and then she also carries her family under her wing as well as her husband. Let me introduce you to Miss Jennifer Mitaha for the morning prayer.
Thank you. I'd like you to join me in prayer for this gathering. And ask Mama you done. Not the fear of it. Mama also in the water. Not a good tomorrow. So we got to walk. I will do up on the sidewalk. I pick up the living walk. It's going to come in walk. Thank you, Lord. We ask you to be with us here today. Sit with us, stand with us, guide us to where we are headed. Thank you, and we all pray in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hi. Thank you very much, Sir Elder Jennifer. At this time, there, ladies and gentlemen, we call upon Iron Swing to recognize our own flags here in the building this afternoon. The Eagle staff that represents and leads our people, but also the reminder of the past, of where we come from, and then looking forward to the future, where we're going. The Eagle staff itself leads our people, carries our prayers, and blesses the ground that we walk in. So at this time, Iron Swing, flag song. support. And because of that, we can now celebrate to support each other and even more. And this is why we call it a victory. A Ho Busa victory song. Let's give a round of applause for the Saskatchewan branch right here today. At this time, I'm going to hand the mic over to my co-host, Roger Anguberg, for the proper introduction to the Eagle staff carriers, the flag carriers, as well as our dignitaries here this morning.
Sure.
Thank you, Gerald. Let's give a round of applause to Gerald. Not a big guy, but he carries a big voice. Carrying MLCM Eagle staff, Burton Bird. Another Montreal Cree Eagle staff, carried by Clayton Keenan. Sorry, 3D6 Adhesion Eagle staff, my apologies. Canadian flag bearer, Tyrell Ross. United flag carried by Brooklyn Stewart. Montreal Cree Nation flag, McKenna staff, my apologies. Treaty 6 flag, Athran Henderson. Other Canadian flag, Destiny Ryder. Adhesion to Treaty 6 flag, Nicholas Nadahow. My My apologies, I don't have a name for this lady here. What's her name?
Lainey.
Lady LaValle. My apologies. Carrying the Canadian flag. Our chiefs that are present today, I'd like to introduce Montreal Cree Nation Chief, Chief Joyce McLeod. Chief from Peter Valentine Cree Nation, Chief Peter Beattie. Lac Laurent Indian Band Chief, Chief Tammy Cook Searson. RCMP Redcoat, I'd like to introduce Mr. Derek Gardner. Our Premier from Saskatchewan, I'd like to introduce Mr. Scott Moe, Honorable Scott Moe. Our councillors, I'd like to start off with our Vice Chief, Dean Henderson.
I'll sneak a spot here.
Councillor Carol Minahow. Councillor Troy Minahow. And Councillor Conrad Minahow. Urban Councillor Mr. Jeff Badger. Treaty Commissioner, I'd like to introduce and welcome her to Montreal Cree Nation, Kathy Walker. MLA, Cumberland Constituency, I'd like to introduce Mr. George McPhail. MLA, Prince Albert, Kevin Kashan. Good enough, he said. Minister of Environment, I'd like to introduce Darlene Roden. MLA in Martinsville, I'd like to introduce Jamie Martins. Okay, Eric, I'll allow that. So, before we introduce Eric, I'd like to introduce the official leader of the opposition party, NDP. I'd like to introduce Carla Beck. Welcome, Carla. She's not a stranger to our nation here. She's been here before to visit, so thank you and welcome, Carla. I'd like to introduce Minister of First Nations, Métis and Northern Affairs, Mr. Eric Smaltz. Minister of Arts, Culture, Sport, and MLAP North Coast, Alana Ross. Member of the Legislative Assembly from Moose Jaw, I'd like to introduce Megan Patterson. Minister of Justice and Attorney General, I'd like to introduce Mr.
Check
Jim
these out
McLeod.
first. Yeah.
From the North District RCMP Inspector, Chad McLeod. North District RCMP Superintendent, Jesse Gilbert. RCMP North District Staff Sergeant, Daniel, what's the last name? Lazinski, pardon me. I don't have my glasses on. Sask Marshals Deputy Chief, Mr. Thomas Rosinski. Welcome, Thomas. Welcome back home. Sask Marshals Superintendent, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ted Monroe.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
School Administration, I'd like to introduce Trina Cook, Vice Principal. Our Director for Montreal Cree Nation Education, I'd like to introduce Diana McGilvery. Our Principal for the Senator Allenberg School, Memorial School, I'd like to introduce Agnes Nidahau. Our Elder from Montreal Cree Nation, I'd like to introduce Mr. Harry Cook, Harry Alkin. Pardon me. Our dancers, Madison Drever, Zoe Ermine, Taylor Sasakamus, Jesse Cook, Jordana LaValle, Shante Bird Halkett, Nadeha. Donald Nadeha. Mary Halkett. Ariana. Big Dog Birdie, parking. Kona Starlight.
Good, good.
And Faye Cook.
Hey. Hi.
So we can have our dignitaries. Just one second.
Good job.
What we're going to do now here, folks, for the flag carriers who are dismissed, you can go and sit down now. Normally, we would have everybody stand up here all day long for speeches, but we'll get you guys seated right away appropriately. So let's come and find you a good seat, and then we'll call you guys up as we go. Dancers, you are excused temporarily. Do not get undressed, as you will be doing a proper demonstration for our people. Yes, dignitaries. Yeah, dignitaries are not here. RCP going to your.
Go to our assigned seating.
Yeah, go to your assigned seating. Yeah. Red coats are up here. All right, people. Before I hand over the mic to my dear friend Roger Uncle Word for introductions of the dignitaries to the people. I'm going to follow a proper protocol in regards to what we have here before you today. It's important that we acknowledge why we have these sacred items before us. And I'll start off with the chiefs first. Our chiefs, they carry the bonnet on their heads. What they do is they carry our prayers, they carry our concerns, they carry our hardships. But not only that, the chiefs, they carry the wisdom from the people. They carry the successes and the happiness. That's the role of the leadership that is provided and that is a gift for our people. These eagle feathers that they carry are very, very sacred. They carry our name as they walk out there to go and visit others, to go and negotiate, to go and obtain, to bring something home. But as well, they carry our voice. The chiefs before you and their headmen, the council, they have a huge responsibility to their nations, and we thank them very much for that. Chief Joseph McLeod, Tammy Cook Searson of the Lac Orange, and of course, Chief Beatty of the Peter Valentine Cree Nation. They're responsible as what they hold does not come lightly. And I want to thank them for that. Furthermore, we have these two eagle staffs. These eagle staffs, every one of them represents our last name in our family prayers. They are the ones that is a reminder of the past, of where we come from. But also, they are the ones that lead our nations to the future for success. When you put these together, that bonnet, that eagle staff. All our prayers, our hopes, our dreams for our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, and the blessings for them. So as we complete this praying circle, this is where we get to ask the Dominant Samanto to look after our people in our nations, to look after our leadership as they carry our voice, and to look after these eagle staffs as they lead our nation. That's why it's important to acknowledge these very sacred items that they carry. And they know that. They were taught about that, their responsibilities. So with that, without further ado, I just wanted to properly hope that you understand why they carry those. This eagle staff, we just finished, my wife and I, for the Treaty 6 Adhesion for February 11th, 1889. And my wife does all the beadings. She beads, I do all the assembling, and we work together as a team. So I want to acknowledge Berna Valentine, my partner, for helping me build these very beautiful things for our First Nations. So with that, thank you very much, Dinny.
I should also mention Berna is the one that keeps Gerald in line too. I'd like to acknowledge our committee that put this, that prepared this gymnasium. I think they deserve a round of applause for sure. I'd like to acknowledge. Treaty 6 Adhesion Committee was formed here at the Central Alberta Memorial School. I'd like to acknowledge Bev Bird. Bev, are you here? Bev right there. Julie Medahoff. Julie. There she is. Sonia Obonichal. Sonia. Where is she? Cynthia Job. Where's Cynthia? I just met her this morning. Larissa Beatty. I think she's busy outside. Larissa's preparing our traditional meal, along with Jared and another crew, Rosalie Mackay. Is she here? Corina Nelson, she's here somewhere. And Blanche McBird. Blanche Bird. Blanche married a McDonald, so we tease her. We call her Blanche McBird. Thank you, Blanche. And a few more acknowledgements I have to share with you guys. I'd like to thank the band members that are here, our administration, our MLCN chief and leadership, our elders, Lac La Ronge Chief Cook Searson, her elders, Chief Peter Beatty and the elders that are here, Premier Scott Moe, and your staff. Thank you, Scott, for your staff that are here, our visiting dignitaries, RCMP and the marshals that are here, Senator Allenberg Memorial staff, all in attendance, our polo dancers, our Senator Allenberg students, our Treaty 6 committee, and the people that decorated. Of course, we're going to have an awesome lunch. We're going to have a traditional lunch here this afternoon. And I mentioned Larissa and Jared are the ones preparing the meal, and many other helpers. So our Eagle staff carriers, thank you. Iron Swing, thank you for the beautiful songs. Karen Roberts from Lac La Ronge Indian Band, he does a lot of the history on treaty. He's the one that's carrying on the tradition that our elders have taught us all these years. That Karen kind of fills that void. You know, where we've lost so many elders throughout the course of the years of our treaties. Elders that are leaders in treaty. I myself, growing up, you know, I didn't really know what treaty was. To this day, I don't fully understand our treaties, and I should. And that's what we're trying to instill in our young people, teach our young people what treaty is all about. It's important, you know. I remember late Senator Allenberg talked about treaties all the time, at council meetings and band meetings that we used to have that Senator Allenberg would mention treaty, and I didn't know what he was talking about until I got older, started to understand a little bit more about what treaty is all about. And you know, we want to thank and remember all those people that have passed on. Abel Charles from MAC, thank you for your presence here. Office of the Treaty Commissioner. Kathy Walker. And our Smudsman, Byron, thank you for doing that. Our MC, Gerald. And of course, Marlene, Montreal Cree Nation History. Thank you, Marlene, for what you do as well. It's very important that we keep up to date with our history here in Montreal. So, with that, I'm going to introduce our first speaker this morning. My name is Roger Bird. I'm one of the co-MCs along with Gerald, and I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to have been asked to be part of the celebrations here today. As I mentioned, growing up here in Montreal, you know, I left for a short period of time. For 11 years, I left the community. I went, I guess, to better myself at that time. I was a young teenager at one time, 14, and got involved in alcohol at a young age, and then at 24 years old, I decided to wake up and say that alcohol is on the way. So it's been 38 years since I've last touched alcohol. So it's been, all those years, and I've been involved with sports event my whole career, still today, and thank you for that. But I've got many teachers that are here in this room. You see the pictures; they're no longer with us. But those were my mentors; those were my teachers, along with current leaders that are here as well. So, first of all, I'd like to introduce our Chief of Montreal Cree Nation. I'd like to introduce Chief Joyce McLeod to the podium, please. Chief. If I can get the local leadership, our council, to come up here and join Chief Joyce. You can make your way up here, please.
In this world, we have a team, a good team. And without a team, things are not possible. So I call on the leadership, the councillors, although they're just going to start looking at me and give me 2 minutes. Whenever I talk, they'll give me 2 minutes to talk. So I like to talk. Anyway, good morning. Can I ask Mitt and Jennifer for your prayers? To start us off in a good way. I want to thank the Creator for bringing each and every one of you safely to Montreal Lake. It was a good day to travel. You know, you see the beautiful trees that are all frosted up. And it's always great to travel up north. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank the Premier for gifting me tobacco, and the Office of the Premier medal. Thank you, Scott. And second of all, I want to thank this beautiful work here. Every time you come in, you see this beautiful building here. It's an old building. It was probably built back in 1970s, late 70s. But when it's decorated, it looks like it's brand new. Thank you to the decorating club and also the committee, Beverly, Julie, and the rest of the teachers that are involved here. And again, for all the decorations and for making us feel welcome. Then you get to the MC, Roger Ungo. I gave your second name, your name to Scott Moe here, Ungo. I can spell it out. And I also want to thank Gerald for smudging our gifts here, and for everything that you do, being an MC, and also making our. This is actually one beautiful thing here. Like we haven't had one like this in It's the first time we're going to use it. Dedicate to the cooks and to the teachers, the staff, especially to the students, you know. We didn't start this, do I have 2 minutes? We didn't start this until after COVID. 2022, this is the 4th year we've had, so we started this, acknowledging the special day when the adhesion to the treaties was signed in Montreal. That was February 11, 1889, and that happened in Montreal. But throughout the years, because you know people are so busy, the leaderships are so busy that you don't even know, you don't acknowledge that day. So about a couple of years back, 2022, we declared this a holiday for our First Nations, and so since then we've been celebrating this holiday. It's a very important day, but on the other hand too, so we signed a BCR, we declared it a holiday, but at the same time, you know, it was actually Roger, who was a former chief, that told us this is not good enough. To have a holiday and do nothing about it is not good enough. So the following year, we decided, you know, we're going to start this process so we can have the historians coming in, so we can have our students learn about the treaties. They have to learn the treaties, and also our membership. You know, each and every one of us should know something about treaties. It's not about $5. That $5 is not good enough anymore. But there's so many things that are happening, and our treaties are being challenged. So it is important that each and every one of you should have know something about the treaties, those are agreements, binding. You know, things are happening, especially with you. In the States, with our neighbors in the States. But anyway, this is important 4 years, and I just talked to Chief Tammy and Chief Peter, and I feel blessed. I guess I feel honored to be here this morning because, you know, Chief Peter has over 30 years of experience, and Chief Tammy has over 20 years of experience. I only have 6 years. But anyway, so it's a privilege to be standing here in front of each and every one of you. I want to say, the dignitaries, I want to acknowledge each and every one of you. I don't want to say the name because, you know, Rod, our MC, said the name already, but I want to acknowledge each and every one of you. And it's an honor for you to be here. Going back to history, going back to history, I was asked, since 1889, how many chiefs have we had? Apparently we had 19 chiefs. So I'm the 20th chief from Montreal Lake since our treaties were signed. And I was actually elected in 2020. What a coincidence, eh? So people, we're here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. I think my minutes are gone.
Chief, we're going to take a little shortcut here. We're going to ask our council members to make their speeches at the end of the event. So, and that's what their request. So with that, thank you, Chief. So next, I'd like to call up our visiting chief, fellow Adhesion chief. I'd like to call up Chief Henry Cook-Searson. Chief Searson to the podium.
Good morning. Tetap sekarang tahu, putih, kami nawa kemarin. Dan asko mo please don't take me sa amin yan. Unya saya kan kita bitok tiyan naman dan asko mo makan chief choice kami sa amin ko ang titingin mo tayo. Kami natingin ito kami ng pamilya, kita kami daw katagos niya. Mayon kami ito yan kung si Maria yan. Basket kita mago yan, swak di USB at di so kinanas ko nando mito pamilya kami mito nagok tayo kumunta ayan tagama mo ito It's a real honor to be here this morning on behalf of Lac La Ronge Indian Band, and I'm really happy to see each and every one of you here. Thank you to Chief Joyce McLeod for the warm welcome. We were all very welcomed as soon as we walked into the school. Even as soon as we drove into the parking lot here, I had my driver, Leon Charles, he had to drive me here this morning because my truck broke down. Got to pick it up today in PA. Thank you to Leon for giving me a ride this morning and had a nice visit. Leon is our emergency management coordinator for Lac La Ronge Indian Band, so this morning was other duties. But thank you so much, Leon, and he does a lot of work. Yesterday he had a search and they were able to locate the two guys safe and sound on Lac La Ronge, so we'll just jump up and go. But today we're here to celebrate our adhesion to Treaty 6. Tomorrow is our anniversary day, February 11, 1889. 137 years ago was when our treaty was signed. But I want to acknowledge all the leadership that's here, Chief Joyce, Chief Peter Beattie, my uncle, Premier Scott Moe, Leader of the Opposition, Caroline Beck, and to all the MLAs that are here. I don't know how Chief Joyce does it to get everybody here. The Premier, the MLAs, the Leader of the Opposition, to be able to bring everybody to the community, it's really to be commended. And to be here with us, thank you so much for all of it. And to our elders too, thank you so much for being here with us. To the students, to the drummers, thank you for singing us in, and Gerald for doing the ceremony, and also Uncle. I served as chief with him for a number of years, and just really honored to be here. And our treaty was signed 137 years ago. I'm actually the 12th chief for Lac La Ronge Indian Band. Even though we split into two bands, that's counting all the chiefs since our Chief James Roberts signed treaty in 1889. So they like to keep us for a while. But really honored to be able to serve the Lac La Ronge Indian Band and the community members. With our treaties, what it means, and to the counselors, thank you so much. It looks very beautiful in this gym. You can tell that you put a lot of thought, and it's just really amazing, and it really speaks to even having all the chiefs all around the gym, all the leadership that has been chosen to work with the community members. But I just wanted to talk a bit about the treaties and what it means. In Cree, we say, it's in exchange, like in a payment. And that's how we understand it. And the way that I've been around for a few years now, and I've been able to understand treaty. And just like former Chief Ungo said, not really understanding what treaties are about when you first get elected. But you learn as you go, and then you learn from the elders, and they tell you what the importance of the treaties are. And then you start to recognize, that they weren't just signed 137 years ago. They're still alive, they're living, their spiritual understandings. And even going through the negotiations for our cows and plows or agricultural benefits claims, learning about the history, and having Tom J. McKenzie, who was also our former chief. He's our lands claim coordinator. He works so hard, he's got so much knowledge. And we work with him, and he's helped us through all these different negotiations, and we learn about the history, and we learn that our chief and council came here to the north end of Montreal to negotiate with the treaty commissioner at that time, and I also want to acknowledge the treaty commissioner that's here. And then it was the archdeacon of the Anglican Church that was the translator, because they spoke Cree, and then so they were translating for our leadership, and it was Chief James Roberts and Chief William Charles from Montreal Lake, and it was the two chiefs that signed the treaty. And then, I don't know what year did Peter Ballantyne, and Peter Ballantyne was part of Lac La Ronge Indian Band. Or it was Chief James Roberts, but then they broke out into their own. 1900, eh? Yeah. So they went off on their own band. So imagine if they were still with us, we'd be the largest in Canada, the largest band. But we're all interrelated. We all have that, like we carry that really close relationship that was established like even before the treaties were signed, because we're all interrelated and we're connected that way. Like we have a deep connection. So Gerald is here correcting me.
Gerald.
Ballpark. But thank you so much. But just understanding that treaty and then our treaties, the way we understood it, and the way that our leaders at that time, what they wanted for us. And I also want to recognize that we're on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis.
We're going to get t-shirts.
My grandkids are Métis,
Gerald's
and they're
picture
part of
will be
this land.
Picture's going to be on
And there's so many things that we have to work on. But with the treaty, our hunting, fishing, trapping rights, that was our sustenance. That's how we were able to be, that's how we're able to sustain ourselves. Many times I grew up on the trap line, and a lot of times we didn't have anything else to eat but fish. And, my mom, because my dad would be out working for months, like 2-3 months, he'd be gone, and then my mom was the sole provider for us, and she would go set a net when we were just small, but we would help her, and we were able, that's how we were able to sustain ourselves, and, having fish all the time. I got tired of eating fish, now I love eating fish, because that's, it sustains you, and rabbits are easy to catch, so, and then you learn all those skills and how you survive, and knowing where you come from. So we always have to make sure that the way that we understand trap lines is different from the way mainstream understands it. So, coming to that common ground and to be able to be here in the presence of all of you, it's just a real honor. And we still have to continue to fight to provide children's home. That's something that we've been talking to the Premier, Scott Moe, about, and also talking to the opposition, because we need their support too, and then talking to the federal government. So it's something that we continue to fight for, because we need to resolve that, because Island Cross was able to have their students recognized, and Timber needs to be recognized. And the other one that we're working on is the treaty and annuities payment. So Treaty 8 has been able to settle their claims already, that it's the $5 a year. So that's something that Lac Orange Indian Band, we've been working on that. And I know that Chief Joyce and Chief Peter Beatty will be working on that too, is the inflation of that $5. What was it 137 years ago? And what's the value of that today? So that's something that we're still working on. But there's so many things with making sure that we're continuing to fight for our trappers, our land users, our language, the Mihidoy, and things to teach our kids and our grandkids the Cree language. And then the other bill that's before the Senate, it's called the one-parent rule. The Senate in Canada, they sent it to the House of Commons, and the one-parent rule means that as long as one parent is a treaty, just like from our nation, or Montreal Lake or Peter Mountain, then they can become part of that band. It's like my grandkids, they're not part of our band right now because of legislation. So if the one-parent rule is passed through the House of Commons, then my grandkids will be treaty members of our nation. So that's something that we have to continue to fight for. And we can't discriminate against each other. There's so many things that we have to continue to fight for and continue to work for. And but I'm just really honored to be here on behalf of Lac Orange Indian Band. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here in Montreal Lake with the Montreal. And thank you to the RCMP and the marshals that are here too. It's nice to have you here, and just really honored to be here. So I'm going to give the microphone to our elder, Abel Charles. He works for MBC, but he's also part of our Council of Elders. And his late father was also our chief on grandmother's day. Isaiah Charles.
Dini go come Roger, I go over. Did I hear you right? There's traditional food cooking outside. Okay, well I'm not going to be very long, but I'd like to acknowledge our three chiefs, Cook, Chief Beatty, Nate Howard, Cook Searson, Dinige. I'd like to acknowledge the provincial representation, Honourable Scott Moe and the Honourable Ministers, and also the other MLAs from whatever political stripe you represent. I welcome you to this community. Thank you for being part of this. There's a strong provincial representation here today. I'm always glad to come to Montreal Lake. And I also like to acknowledge the youth. The youth out there, you matter, you belong here, you are our future. I'd like to acknowledge the other elders. I'd like to acknowledge you as well, and everybody. I acknowledge your presence. You heard the invite, you wanted to be here because you cared about what's happening here today. And 137 years ago, Amos Charles probably prepared his dog team in Stanley Mission and made that trek from Stanley Mission to Wawanosa to be one of the signatories, No Chabano, Amos Charles, to sign his mark on that Articles of Treaty. Now, we read the Articles of Treaty. I grew up in families of leadership. My dad was a chief, my grandfather and great-grandfather Amos. So I've heard these traditional stories of what was said on Wawanosa. And it differs sometimes, kind of different from the Articles of Treaty we read. It says surrender and cede. That's not what my great-grandfather understood through oral tradition. I have heard we are to share this land. But nevertheless, for the first time ever since the signing on February 11th, 1889, this past summer on August, Montreal Lake Cree Nation held their Treaty Day in Wawanosa. I took my $5 my annuity there. It was in Wawanosa this summer, so that's good. And yes, this is significant, Omonta. These treaties affect us today. They are, according to my great-grandfather, Isko, as long as the sun shines. Isko, as long as the rivers run. Isko, as long as the grass grows. That's how long these treaties are to last. So thank you for your invite. And our story here, what's happening here today, is already out there on NBC airwaves. I've already filed stories, and our youth. I decided to interview the youth. What is their understanding? And they have an in-depth understanding of what treaty. And that's what we want. We want our children, our youth, to understand this treaty relationship. So, Tinigaya, Roger.
Thank you so much, Abel. Always nice to have you here today. And if I can mention as well, I want to thank Tammy. As you know, Tammy announced her retirement a couple months back, and she's officially going to retire as chief, but she's now going to retire as an individual, and she'll still be there, to assist and to help her people, Black Mountain and Ben, and of course with Montreal Lake Cree Nation as well. So thank you for what you do. Next, I'd like to introduce our neighbors from the northeast side of the province. I'd like to introduce Chief Peter Beatty from Peter Valentine Cree Nation. Chief Peter.
Tini Roger. Hindi ka na nung tinanasco mo na kasi kay istamawa kaya kita yung daw skip na din kaya siya putumari na mau yan. Thank the elder first of all for the opening prayer. Yung may nakakagawa kaya kaya kita ay start now. Thank everybody for being here. So, ni Tio Mao, Chief McLeod, and Chief Tabby Cook Searson, my niece, said, what do you to me now to happen? Yung sa ngay tao ba? Dito may tao. medyo ako na ako sa hindi na mga ay noong sa kanon ko kaya libre English hindi yung kaya kami pili ko kaya lumina usap sa mga ito o kami na ito tayo so controlling feelings iway ano sa mga kaya noong di ay nanas ko kami noong tawag kaya ugama kasaling about previous God mo yung may nanas ko mo di video di so ano man ay kita ko siya kaya si Wisami to always music sigurado kapiat sanawi and he's found that I'd like to thank you for being here finding time to be here is an important occasion and we all understand that everyone's busy all the time, especially with someone that's dealing with the issues of the province and interprovincial affairs, international affairs. I'm not going to mention the United States of America. It has nothing to do with what's going on over there. And I'd like to thank the cabinet minister as well. Emily Eric Schmaltz, thank you for being here as well, and as well our MLA Jordan McPhail, I thank you, and the official, the leader of the official opposition, Carla Beck, thank you for being here. And and also just to make a few comments in terms of Peter Valentine. Peter Valentine was here at the adhesion of Treaty 6 in 1889, February 11, 1889 at Montreal. However, he didn't have enough people to bring from Pelican Arrows, which is a long journey. So he, according to the Indian age, he did have to have 200 people around. He didn't bring 200 people. So he became part of the James Roberts band until they separated Peter Valentine as a separate band because of the long distance in 1900. And so we became a separate band in 1900. And from that band, there was a separate band as well, Matthias Malone, which was separated into another band. So, if you think about it, if we would have stayed with that garage, it would have been a huge band, over 30,000 people probably. But some of that history you can read about and learn, as well as the Articles of Treaty. I think that's the most important thing for our young people is to read the Articles of Treaty. Teach yourselves, the intent of what was put in there and what was understood by our side of the treaty as opposed to what was written by the commissioners. Because if you read some of the books and some of the history on the signing and the writing of the treaty, a lot of it was not interpreted properly as was said here just previously. There was no mention of cede, surrender and relinquish. It was the idea was to share the land with the newcomers, and most of it had to do with agricultural activities. And the First Nations wanted those skills as well because their traditional food source, the buffalo, were disappearing from the land. They were being slaughtered. So they wanted a new way of living. So that's why they did that. And so, it's those understandings that we have, the spirit and the intent of the treaty. That's what's important to us as First Nations people. And just on another note as well, FSI Chief Bobby Cameron couldn't be here. He's in Calgary at a gathering there to discuss and make an announcement on the NRTA, the Natural Resources Transfer Agreement of 1930. As well, Grand Chief Brian Hardlock couldn't be here, so he's over there as well. And these are important things to attend, for our people as well. You're well represented there. And the other ones I'd like to welcome here are the Marshal Service, of course. We're trying to work closely with them and with the RCMP. We've always had a good working relationship with the RCMP to our tripartite agreement and so on. And it's very important that, that we work closely with them, because we're looking at trying to develop our own non-reserve police forces as well, our Indigenous police forces. And we can gain a lot from that. And so if there's any youth here, you should look into those types of opportunities. It's a great career to have. And I think it would be a great benefit to our First Nations. Thank you for listening for a few minutes. I'm not going to stand here and campaign for the next half hour or so. I know Chief Tammy is thinking of retiring, but take it from me, it's very difficult. I tried it. And people will pressure you sometimes. Whatever the people want is what we should be doing. And that goes for us, it goes for the province or the federal government. And so with that, can I ask you now, National Pag-amasiwi sa kuliga mo, hindi maniminan. Like the singers, the drummers, acknowledge them as and all the people that work to prepare the school for this, because it's really, you can see all the work they did. It takes a lot of organization, a lot of time, and a lot of work. So we were saying, now, thank you very much, and have a great afternoon, Minister.
Thank you, Chief Peter Beatty, Askelman. Before I call up Vice Chief from PBCN, Justin, I want to mention something. When Chief Cook Shearson spoke, she represents 12,788 members of Black Ground Indian Band and 6 communities. Chief Peter Beatty with PBCN, they have 13,235 members that they serve at 8 communities. So let's give both chiefs a round of applause. For Chief Joyce McLeod, she represents 4,600 members of Montreal Cree Nation in 2 communities, both Montreal and Liberec. So that's the majority of the population represents Prince Albert Grand Council. I think Grand Council has 38, close to 40,000 membership within the Grand Council. So majority of the membership is within the Northern Woodland Cree communities. So next I'd like to call up PBCN Vice Chief, Justin Hallcrow. Justin.
أنا راجع بيوشان هواش journalist solution meeting is gonna بشتغل مرة معمول دولة ما عملناش ما كان شيء هاي من الوقت ومن اللي شوية هواش إن ناس ما ممكن بينها أنا وشاف our elder Jennifer. Elder Jennifer Burton acknowledging the opening prayer for the ceremony today. And it's important for myself, and especially our children, to acknowledge the signing of our treaties. It's very important get our children to learn the treaties, the meaning of the treaties and what they mean for our people. And as Chief said, in the provincial and federal systems, and it's a different understanding for our membership, no matter which community we come from. As our Chief stated, we never relinquished any land or ceded any land, and that has to be mentioned to our young people in our communities, in every community. We acknowledge the fact we didn't give out any land, and my understanding, I know I didn't grow up with any leadership in my family, but through traditional oral teachings, we worked to share the land with the newcomers that came into this province, or this country. And I've said this to many people. I don't follow any imaginary boundary lines when I go out. When I go out and hunt, go out and fish, I use my treaty rights. There is no boundaries in our turtle island. The Europeans created boundaries, the provinces, and the two countries, America, the United States of America and Canada. For us, it's turtle island. I don't myself honor Canada and America as countries. Those are our lands, our resources, and our lakes out there. And we have to keep them in pristine conditions because we only borrow the land from our future people, the unborn children. In this turtle island. In that when we ship much as kilometer, from a Chika boats though, we start watching at the classes, which the pyramid which it match, we didn't do it closer. I wasn't prepared to do a speech. I'm only driving like sheep here, my understanding. But I want to acknowledge the Premier, the Honourable Premier, Scott, and also our Minister of Indigenous Affairs, Eric Schultz. Close enough. And our official opposition, Carla Beck, and of course Jordan. Jordan, I regularly see on the road and chat with him on Snapchat. As long as that social media I have Snapchat. And even Islamic, I know I wasn't unprepared, and I apologize, but again, it's very important to honor our treaty relationship with Canada and the provinces of this country. I want to acknowledge that it's very important that, as I discussed with Daryl through text this morning, I didn't know he was standing here. Our previous chief, Daryl Mullen, back there, I was texting him this morning that he texted me we have to do this for PBCN as well. And I'll make sure of that, and we'll honor this day. It's an official holiday and celebration for PBCN as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. I know it's tough to be put on the spot here, but thank you very much for getting us coming. So with that, we're going to continue on with our speakers. Unfortunately, today we don't have a representative from the Prince Albert Grand Council. I don't think we do. I don't see anybody. What? Okay. And our next speaker is not present as well. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations. We don't have a representative here today. So, like one of the speakers said, everybody's busy, so I'm imagining these folks are busy as well. So, and this is not on the agenda, and it's an oversight. I'm going to blame my daughter Kim for overlooking our next speaker. I'd like to introduce Office of the Treaty Commissioner. I'd like to introduce Dr. Kathy Walker to the podium, please. Kathy?
I just spoke to Vice Chief Dean Henderson. For both the Grand Chief of PAGC, Brian Hartlock, and Poseidon Chief Bobby Cameron, the dates were mixed up. They would have showed up they thought it was tomorrow. So that's the confusion there. So they send their best regards. They do apologize on behalf of the FSIN as well as the PAGC. Stuff like this happens, and again, they apologize. They'll still show up even though nobody's here, so we'll see what happens.
Tensei Kekio Kiowao. I want to acknowledge first and foremost our elder who did the prayer this morning. I also want to acknowledge the youth that are here. I want to acknowledge our First Nations leadership, Chief Tammy Cook, Chief Peter Beattie, and of course our host, Chief Joyce McLeod, and her council as well. Thank you for inviting me to be here again. I guess I must not have done so bad last year. You invited me back, so that's good. And of course, I want to acknowledge Premier Mo and all of the elected members of the legislature from both parties. It's good to see you guys sitting beside one another. And the cabinet ministers, the honorable cabinet ministers. And of course to our singers and our the people that keep the drum. Thank you so much. So, as I was introduced, I'm the Treaty Commissioner for Saskatchewan. And the role of the office is really to create common understanding on the treaties. And how we approach treaty, a lot of people don't know this, but we're actually an apolitical office. And so the way that we approach treaties is that they are not a political position, they are historical fact. The fact is that treaties were signed throughout these lands. Treaties 1 to 11, what we call the historical number of treaties. The first one was signed, Treaty 1, in 1861. Treaty 6, I'm jumping over some treaties. This year, we're going to be commemorating 150 years that Treaty 6 was signed. And today we're commemorating 137 years of the communities of Lac La Ronge, Peter Valentine in Montreal, and Cree Nation agreeing to adhere to Treaty 6. And commemorations like this are so important because for so long, for so many generations, this history has been silenced, marginalized, ignored in so many ways. And it truly is our Kiteyak, the leadership, the citizens, the historians like Tyvon Roberts over there, who have continuously upheld the stories of treaties. We've heard some really great histories from the leadership here today about the histories of their communities and their leadership. But this still remains primarily an oral history. And that doesn't mean that it isn't as strong or as verifiable as what's been written down. It just means, why is it not written down? That's the question I want to ask. Why is it not part of our education systems in a more real way? In 2008, the province did a great thing. It implemented a provincial mandate to teach treaties in every classroom in Saskatchewan. And our office has been analyzing that mandate with the help of teachers and different academics that study education and treaty education, and with the Saskatchewan School Boards Association and superintendents and school divisions. And we're asking the question, are we truly teaching treaty in every classroom in the province? And what we're finding is the answer is no. We can do a lot better. And so we put together a steering committee of educational experts who are really committed to teaching treaties in the classroom, to tear down the barriers to teaching treaty. Because treaties, again, are not First Nations history. They're not a First Nations issue. They're our shared history. They're the history of these lands. We're all treaty people. And that's why, again, I commend the provincial representatives for being here alongside our First Nations leadership, because this is a good representation of the people who should be understanding our history, our treaty history as a shared history. So I wanted to talk a little bit about also why it is that the treaties have been able to be upheld through 137 years, through 150 years, despite being marginalized in a lot of the policies and education systems that, now dominate. And the answer I came up with was that one reason treaty history has never been truly silenced, in addition to the strong voices of our Pateac leadership and citizens, is that treaties are also written on these lands. Treaties govern these lands, but these lands also govern treaty. So, as the saying goes, I see it written back there on the wall in really beautiful turquoise and purple background. The treaty relationship is intended to last for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the rivers flow. So as treaty commissioner, I've said this phrase a lot. And of course, a lot of us understand it to mean that a treaty relationship is meant to endure or to last forever. But I've also come to understand this phrase as meaning more than that too. This phrase tells me that it's these same powers, the sun, the grass, the rivers flowing, that are also intended to drive the treaty relationship. So as we know, when the sun shines, it shines on everyone equally. During treaty making, a representative of the Crown or a redcoat stated that to the treaty First Nations leadership, when your gaze turns towards the rising sun, you shall see that sun rising red, similar to the color of the coat that I wear. When it rises higher, that same sun shall be very bright with light. In this, there is the image of the life of your children. After that sun has been up a little longer, you'll see in different places the flowers bloom. There is the image of the life of your children. As treaty beneficiaries, because we all have benefited from the treaties, like the sun, we're expected to help one another grow and thrive. We're obligated to practice and apply treaties without discrimination. We must realize relationships where every child truly matters. And what does it mean to live a relationship as long as the rivers flow? It means that just like a river carries life-giving water to create rich, diverse, and abundant life, the treaty relationship also carries nourishment. And we have to remember that where water currents meet, they are the strongest. And finally, the grass growing. What does that tell us about the treaty relationship? So in Nehiawewen, grass is called Kikaunawaski Witskaska. Sorry, Tammy. Our Mother Earth's hair. This reminds us that the land is our mother and that she cares for us and we must care for her. Or that treaties are based on the understanding that the living earth is our relative, not a possession. So anyway, I hope I've, by that reflection, shared a little bit more on what that saying means. We say it a lot, but I really hope that when we say it, we feel it, we understand it, we live it. Because it's not just words. So, I'll stop there. Thank you.
Saskatchewan, thank you very much, Dr. Kathy Walker.
Just walked from my house.
Next speaker I'd like to call up,
And look, I have these.
Honorable Premier,
I can go upstairs.
Saskatchewan, Government of Saskatchewan, I'd like to call up Mr. Scott
I can go
Moulton.
upstairs.
Scott? Scott.
Thank you very much, Roger. Gerald, for emceeing this event, to all three chiefs, Chief Talbert, Chief Cook Searson, and Valentine. Thank you for hosting us here today, and in particular, Chief Talbert, thank you for hosting us in Montreal Lake. I as well want to acknowledge everyone that was involved in today's event, starting with our elder. Starting the event off in a good way, to the drummers Iron Swing. As I say, the best drummers in the nation, not just the province. Thank you, and I see you at a number of events across the province. Thank you for being here. The dancers, in particular, the youth that are dancing and doing so very well out of learning and excelling in that trait. To the flag bearers, who I understand were the Youth Council, correct? The Youth Council, thank you for being involved. To all the dignitaries from both sides of the provincial legislature, and I want to come back to that in a moment, just with a few comments. Also, a thank you for your presence to all those in law enforcement, whether it be RCMP or Saskatchewan Marshals, and by extension our municipal officers as well. It means a lot when you attend events just like this, and I say thank you through you to all the folks that you work with for keeping each and every one of us safe in this province and across the nation. There's a couple of drive-bys on the President of the United States, and so maybe I will just go right at that. Over the course, and really what I will speak about in that realm is, the uncertainty that we're faced with in this world. That uncertainty comes in many different ways. It comes in local relationships that we have. It comes when we, as we say, look at our history. And not all of Canada's history is pristine. But we need to continue to converse and to collaborate, whether it be on that history, whether it be on our current relationship, or whether it be on discussing where we're going in the future as a community, as people, as a province, and ultimately as a nation and our place in the world. And what we are seeing is definitely an upsetting of the certainty that we have. I see Charlie Clark. Charlie was as mayor of Saskatoon. We spent much time together, and Charlie was a great collaborator. And that's where I'm going to go with this short story with respect to the uncertainty that we see globally. We have seen, in my time as premier, 8 years, not as many years as Chief Cook Searson, who I would say may be feeling some pressure to continue, of which I won't join in with that. But very much appreciate your time and leadership as well. But we are seeing significant uncertainty globally. And we have seen in the last number of years some uncertainty in the relationship that we've had provincially with our federal government, but you don't see that today. And you see a change of the effort that we are making as a province to ensure that we are collaborating, conversing, and planning with our federal government in this nation to ensure that we are defending the very opportunities that we have as Canadians across this nation from coast to coast to coast. And those opportunities, I would say, then we converse with all levels of leadership. So to ensure that Canadian people, Saskatchewan people, people that live in Montreal Lake Cree Nation, people that live in Lac Orange are able to actually be the beneficiaries of the opportunities that we have. And it's that spirit of collaboration that we today are bringing to our federal government to defend all that is good in Canada. And there is good that is in our nation to ensure that we are building towards that brighter future for everyone that lives here. And those conversations, and my hat's off and my appreciation to all of those in leadership, those conversations and that collaboration is important at all levels, whether it be with law enforcement, whether it be with community leaders, whether it be with Indigenous leaders, whether it be with other provincial leaders across the nation, or for us with our national government as well, and those relationships are levels that you engage with from these three communities as well. And I would say that when we do collaborate, whether it be across the provincial house, we have two parties in our provincial house. When we do collaborate, we can achieve great things. When we collaborate with our federal government, we can achieve great things. When we bring everyone to the table, whether it's local leadership, Indigenous leadership, provincial governments, and our federal government, we can achieve great things. There is a time, and I will talk, I want to just lead into the treaties being a living document. I would say that it is so very important for us to continue our journey in understanding our treaties, whether you be an Indigenous person or a non-Indigenous person. We all have a duty to understand and to learn and to have a relationship with the Canadian treaties that we have. I would thank, in particular, Chief McLeod. I remember a couple of years ago, and I had the opportunity to attend the Molinosa event in the summer, go up to the Adhesion Agreement signing site, which was a short boat ride away. Senator Nolan Henderson had taken us up there, and that helps me, and helps those around me with my walk and understanding of our history, and my walk and understanding of not only the treaties in general, Treaty 6, and more relevant to today, and what we are here to acknowledge is the Adhesion Agreement that was signed 137 years ago tomorrow. But it's that collaboration and that conversation that is so very important, and I thank all involved that have taken the time to have that conversation and that collaboration with myself, and more properly with the government of Saskatchewan and a number of government representatives that are here today, because we can achieve big things, and I would say that we even are achieving big things today. As I look at the Edmonton Oilers hat, we're not achieving very many big things this last week. But we will. But we are, through those conversations, achieving what I think and working on big things in the current time. And I think of some of the work that went into, and from the urging of leadership that is here today, and the education provided by leadership that is here today, that the proposed and the work that has gone into finding our way to a settlement for the last two Indigenous reserve schools that have not been settled in this province. Finding our way to agreement in the case of the Ottawa Cross fuel, and working together to find our way to an agreement with respect to Timber Bay as well. I think of the work that we are being guided on ensuring that that piece of property, the Molinosa grounds where the Adhesion Agreement was signed some 137 years ago on February 11th, so 137 years ago tomorrow. The work that is happening between the community and the provincial government to transfer that land to the community where it rightfully belongs, given the cultural significance and the community significance in that space. I think more recently of things that maybe aren't as viewed as large, but I would say are equally significant in that journey of understanding and respecting treaties in our province. Not in any way a large financial commitment, but I think a show of respect, and I see this each and every time that I drive home from Regina, or go to Regina, which is each and every week, but the Treaty 6 boundary signs and the other treaty boundary signs that we have across the province. Again, a show of understanding that we are all treaty people, and our province most certainly exists because of the collaboration that we had so many years ago. And I would say that living document, that those treaties and each of our personal walk in understanding our history and understanding those histories is a significant reminder of what we share in this great land. We share, I would say, that potential for great success when we collaborate and when we work together, whether that be in our personal lives, or whether that be in the positions that we have, or whether that be in the leadership positions that so many have. I would say we can share in that success, and equally we can share in a great friendship, and friendships that have yet to be formed. I'd say the treaty is a very foundation for success in this space. This territory, our territory, has so many opportunities. Fishing, mining, agricultural opportunities, forestry opportunities that we have had discussions on in the last number of years. And we're very pleased, I would say, as a provincial government, to partner with the Treaty 6 nations and all of us, everyone involved in each of these communities. So today we recognize, say, 137 years since the Adhesion Agreement was signed in 1889. That was 13 years prior to that, 150 years ago, when Treaty 6 itself was signed. And we'll have that celebration this summer. And I would hope together that we can all look forward to the enthusiasm and optimism of what the next number of years are going to bring for us, in particular the 13 years when we'll be celebrating the 150 years of the Adhesion Agreement here today. So I will just close with this bit of history. We can do big things. And I heard this this past week, and I'll repeat it. This is not my story, but I will repeat it. In 1866, this nation lived under threat. This nation lived under threat from what was considered an ally at the time, and it was the United States of America, who was threatening the very sovereignty of Canada, and who was seizing the trade with the nation of Canada. Very relevant to what we see happening today. In 1867, the Canadian Constitution was signed, and a number of years later, in 1876, Treaty 6 was signed. We can do big things in light of great challenges that may be presented to us. And I would suggest that when we communicate, when we collaborate, when we converse about understanding our history, understanding our shared past, understanding where we are today, and moving forward where we can find agreement to achieve what we can achieve tomorrow. That's where the best work is done. History has proven it, and I would say that we are finding our way in exactly that space today. So I want to once again thank everyone involved for putting this great day on. I want to thank our three chiefs for the invitation to participate in what I think is just a tremendously meaningful event to our province and to all of those I know in this community. So let us walk together in a good way as we find our way in the next number of days. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Mo. Saskatchewan, I'm going to give you that one. So, accept. Our next speaker, I'd like to call the official opposition leader, NDP Saskatchewan. I'd like to call him Carla Beck. Carla?
Thank you, Roger, for that kind introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to be here back with you today in Montreal at the Senator Allenford Memorial Gymnasium. and to celebrate this important day, Treaty 6 Adhesion, with all of you. I want to say just off the top, thank you to the elder for the prayer, for starting us off in a good way. Thank you for Iron Swing, for the song, and for all of those who participated in the Grand March. I want to say thank you to the committee, as has been mentioned, for making sure that the gym looks so fantastic today, to celebrate, to acknowledge this important day. And I think of the leaders the last time I was here in this gym, who made sure that this gym was ready to receive people who were being evacuated right across the north. That is the kind of leadership that I see in communities right across the north. And I want to thank you. Speaking of leadership, of course, 56 years of leadership here. I want to say thank you to Chief McLeod, to Chief Beatty, Chief Tammy. I want to thank you for the way that you show up on days like today, which is incredibly important, but all the ways that you show up and lead in your communities and right across the north. It's the first opportunity I've had to see Chief Tammy in person since her announcement. And I know that she will continue to be a leader, whether officially in the role of chief in her community. And I want to just wish you all the best. I know that I am one of the last speakers standing between you and the traditional lunch, and I think Abel might come up and get me off the podium here if I don't go quickly. But there are a few things that I just want to say. I want to say thank you to all of the dignitaries, first of all, that are here, Cree, of course, all of the ministers that are here. And I want to say, speaking of leaders, a special shout out to my friend, your MLA, Mr. George McPhail, who, looking at him and thinking of the kind of leadership that he's already shown, it's hard to imagine that he's only been at this for just over a year. As Chief McLeod noted, it's important to have a good team around you. And I will tell you, he's a very good teammate. He's a bit of a jokester, but he is an incredible advocate for the North, for the people of Cumberland. So I want to thank all of you for sending him to us and to be part of our team. Much has been said already, so I'll try not to repeat what has been said about the importance of treaty. And not only to commemorate that date, 137 years ago, but the importance of treaty as a living agreement. Reaffirm that relationship and acknowledge that we still have work to do to find that common agreement and to fulfill the spirit and intent of treaty. I think that I'm a little bit shy to start naming off ways standing in front of the treaty commissioner. But when I think of the promise of that treaty that was signed here all those years ago, and how will we know when we fulfilled what was agreed to, what was promised? I think that there are a number of measures. I'm a mom of three, and I center a lot of what I do based through the eyes of children, looking at the future. And I think this is as good a measure as any. We will know when we have fulfilled that promise to share the bounty, the resources of this land, all that we've been blessed with here. We will know that we fulfilled that promise when every child in this province, no matter where they live, north or south, which community they grew up in, when every child in this province has the chance to meet their full potential. That's the measure that I think, one of the measures, of many measures, but one that I think is incredibly important. Our ability to realize that future depends on our understanding, our true understanding that we are indeed all treaty people, and we all have rights and obligations under that treaty. And I want to say that as leader of the official opposition, I make that commitment here today. I want to say Taniki and Nas, come on, sorry if I messed that up. But sincerely, thank you for the opportunity to be here again today. I look forward to the journey ahead, to making sure that we realize the promise, the intent of Treaty 6. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carla. You know, every time I get a chance to MC an event, I always make one mistake, so I made a mistake today, so forgive me. I overlooked when the government Saskatchewan Minister Eric spoke, so I'm going to ask him to say a few words. And I'm not going to mention his nickname. He does have a nickname, so it's Montreal made as well.
Thank you very much. There's children here, so you can't mention my nickname. Often when I come to these events, I often talk about how humbled and honored I am to be in front of people gathered on such an auspicious occasion, and what that has meant to me over the course of not only my career as a politician, provincial politician, but also as a member of the Redcoats, which is what I used to be at one time. My colleagues sitting here, faces that I haven't seen for a long time. There's one of the members sitting there. I don't think we both can fit through that door at the same time. I think we could be a little tight. When I come to these events, I'm often given speaking notes to talk about the government's perspective on whatever the event is or whatever the occasion is. And today I want to deviate from that. I want to talk about what the treaty has meant to me as an individual, how it has shaped me through the course of my life. The relationships developed with neighbors, people of Montreal Lake, people of Muscadet, people of James Smith, all of the nations that surrounded me in my youth and would interact with me in my home community in Prince Albert. The treaty is a formalization of the relationships between those peoples. And for me, growing up in Prince Albert, a lot of my friends would leave our home community and go on vacation. They'd go to Disneyland or Orlando or some foreign place that I've never been before. Our family went north. We went to Montreal Lake. We went to Orange, Stoyac Falls. We went to places where Indigenous people inhabited. And we were always welcomed with open arms. In every community we went to, it was never hostility or a cold shoulder being turned. It was always a welcome from the people who lived there. I want to say that this day, we should be, or not this day, but the day of the treaty adhesion, and any talk of treaty, we should reflect on what that has meant to us as individuals in our own lives as treaty people. Now, I've been warned to keep this short because the food's ready, and as you can tell, I like food, so I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank the chiefs and how much I've appreciated not only their camaraderie and their good conversation, but some of their guidance as well that they've provided to me as Minister of First Nations Meeting Northern Affairs since I've had the honor to fill that role. So, with that being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you for the honor of speaking to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Next, I'd like to call up our MLA from our constituency here at Cumberland House. I'd like to call up Mr. Jordan McPhail. Jordan.
Well, I
appreciate you saying that you were going to make it short there, Minister. For fun fact, he's one of the only guys in the legislature that can look short. I want to thank Gerald, Roger, the elders, Iron Swing, for starting us off here in a good way. And what a lovely day it is to be here in my home treaty, Treaty 6, the lands of my ancestors, the home of one of the Treaty 6 nations here, Montreal Lake Cree Nation, and the lands we share with those who have come from every corner of the world. I want to take a quick moment again to thank the owner for her words. The drum group, Iron Swing, for the power and the honor that you bring living in your culture. I know just under a year ago, there were many in this room who had stepped up to save this community and in this beautiful part of the world that we all come home to. I thank you for your service to our community and the lands that we all call home. I want to take a moment to thank the hard work of this community's leadership. Chief Tani, Chief Joyce, Chief Peter A. Beatty, and I know FSIN and ADC were meant to be here, but I thank them through extension through the chiefs here and their respective staff for the work that you do to move mountains in short order and make sure that your citizens are well served, but all of us were supported in those times, and that you do everything in your power to ensure safety of the people, the properties, and all of these lands. I thank you. You know, something I've learned since being elected to serve this beautiful constituency is that the true beauty of our province's north is not just the lakes, the rivers, the trees, and the mosquitoes the size of helicopters. It is the hearts and minds of the people who call it home. It is why I will reiterate what I always say, is that against all odds, the north will always endure. We are strong, resilient, and have the strength of our ancestors to thrive as this, our beautiful home. Through our fair share of crises in food security, the drug crisis, high levels of youth suicide, wildfires, and many other challenges, I know there are so many nations, Indigenous communities, have consistently opened up their homes, their hearts, when our people were struggling. In the wildfire crisis alone last year, when the province could not scale their evacuations to meet the needs of every northerner, the nation stood up here and across this beautiful province. We saw nations like Spiritual Lake, Wapiti, Little Red, Montreal Lake, Muscadet, Beardy's, James Smith, who I might add was in a crisis of their own just not long ago, and we all rallied around them. We saw these and so many other people see their relatives flee from danger, step up at a moment's notice to ensure we all had food in our bellies, a place to sleep, and you made us all feel right at home. This is the ways of our people. Why I'm proud not only today, but every day of the week to be Indigenous, to hold the values and honor the work of the last 7 generations, and to work in a way that we can pass these and many other lessons on to the next 7 generations. Love, respect, courage, honesty, wisdom, humility, and truth. These are the values we hold true to our hearts and minds, our 7 sacred teachings. It will be these teachings that have guided us through the signing of this treaty in 1889. It is these teachings that have guided us for time immemorial, and it will be these teachings that will bring us all together and keep us together. It was honored on our side when these treaties were signed. We respected and shared the land. We honored one another's culture, language, and values. While residential schools proved that the opposite was not true. You know, on that point, I heard an interesting story, that every single First Nations person that we know is either a residential school survivor themselves, the son or a daughter of a residential school survivor, or the grandson or granddaughter of a residential school survivor. Every single one. Many of which was just down the road from us here at the Timber Bay Residential School, which is still yet to be settled and recognized by the province. Yeah, we are all here, and we persevere. We stay dedicated to our language, our culture, and values, and beliefs. So as we celebrate and remember today, tomorrow, and every day, I hope that you all hold your heads high as we are all treaty people. To Premier Mo and Mrs. Maltz, I appreciate your attendance at this event, and your words, and specifically where you mentioned working with and collaborating with all the people of northern Saskatchewan. Part of these words coming into action, in my opinion, is passing the Bill 609 on the Wildfire Strategy Act, where the very voices in this room and across over Saskatchewan will be legislated to have their say in how we respond to wildfires in the future. They have shown their worth in mobilizing quickly, and with what I heard from both of you today, I look forward to the day that we can stand in the provincial legislature and say that this bill has been made law here in Saskatchewan. It is honoring and recognizing the residential school survivors, not only of Timber Bay, but every school here in Saskatchewan. It is honoring the commitments made under treaty, not only after losing court battles, after having the government state that the court, into the court that the TRC report is patently unreliable. But we live in our obligations that we've made under treaty each and every day, and as we share this land. But today is not about politics, it's about community. And what an honor it is, and always will be, to be a part of this community, today and every day. It gives me great pride to bring greetings to you, and to be joined here by our leader, Carla Beck, our staff, and our colleagues in the provincial legislature. I hope as we look back at the last 137 years, that we remember the sacrifices, the hardships, and the challenges that we've overcome together. That it renews our belief in our culture, language, and values for the next 137 years. And for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows. Pinigi, Dinanaskaman, thank you so much.
Folks, it's lunchtime. I'm going to ask one more speaker before lunch, and we're going to have 3 speakers during lunch. My apologies for that. I know sometimes we get a little long-winded, but you know, it's people. We want to hear you, and we want to thank you for being here. Not an oversight, impossible an oversight. I'm going to blame my daughter, Kim. The next speaker I'd like to call up from the North District, RCMP Superintendent, I'd like to call up Jesse Gilbert. Jesse? And 3 more speakers after, well, probably during lunch, and then we're going to have our local stoppers do a performance for us as well. So here's Mr. Gilbert.
I'll keep it under 2. Looking at the people that have spoken already here, I'm not entirely sure I'm important enough to be up here, but I do appreciate the honor of standing up here and to speak to your comments about your call. I empathize, but I feel shortcut against most of the people up here. So it was very interesting for me to listen to the people that presented. I got to hear the Treaty Commissioner present a little bit more at the PAGC community safety meetings, and I really like listening to the history. And part of what the Premier had mentioned is it's interesting because it's a historical document that's still very much alive. And some of the chiefs have noted some initiatives that they're pushing forward. So the treaties are still very much relevant today as they were back then. On behalf of the RCMP, I know that there has been a difficult history in some cases. I've also spent a lot of time with chiefs who have built really, really good relationships with the members who work and serve their communities. And that's the relationships that we need to focus on. So thank you very much. We will try our best to remain committed to the treaties and to upholding public safety as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Okay, folks, for the next speakers, I'm going to ask them that they speak during lunch or after lunch. I'm going to ask Minister of Environment, Darlene Broden, to speak later. Minister of Parks, Culture, and Sport, and our MLA from Cree, North Dakota, Alana, will be speaking as well, Alana Ross, and Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Tim McLeod, and also Mr. Teddy Monroe will be speaking as well. So I've got 4 speakers. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague. But before I do so, I want to mention the Treaty's 650th anniversary gathering, August 20th, 23rd, 2026 at Fort Carlton, Treaty 6 territory. So that's August 20th to the 23rd. August 10th to the 14th, Mollanosa Cultural Days, across the lake in Mollanosa, Saskatchewan. So that's August 10th to the 14th. So put those in your calendar. For our dignitaries, if you can do so, you'll be getting an invitation to attend our Mollanosa Days, also to our visiting chiefs as well. So With that, I'll turn it over to Gerald.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm good. Message from Vice Chief Pratt. He sends his best regards to the entirety of Montreal Cree Nation and the visiting dignitaries. He was aware of today, and he just wanted to acknowledge that he wished he could be here and that he fell ill. So the flu bugs going around that part of the area. So at this time, I want to bring up our elder, Eliza Bird, to bless the food. So listen up, folks. The young table to my right and to the young table to my left, we'll get you guys to go grab your own food, right? And once that's done, we'll have you sitting down, and then our visitors and our family members that are here, of course, the RCMP as well. Our young students will serve you guys. And during the supper, dinner, we're going to go through our entertainment groups back to back to back. So all dancers from the powwow, all dancers from the jigging group, the stomping group, and of course all dancers of the, what's the other one? Jigging demonstration, powwow, and the Montreal Stompers, okay? Please stand by. Please stand by. All dancers in every category. We're going to have you on the center of the floor, and so that way we'll get you guys going. So at this time, we ask of you to rise. Gentlemen, take off your hats. Elder Eliza, will bless our food.
Ita maka na naskong no, kakyo ta kape tukte. Ego minogin na naskong obuta. Ita sino ang obuta kape richi goya. Ego nimina. Tamine na naskong. I like to acknowledge the VIPs we have here. They came here to help us. They came here to learn about us, and I appreciate for their attendance today with us. This celebration we have, every year. Yung tawin na kahit ko ikakit naman matesa sa way ito mamidyo kawin midya oke kakyo o ta ay sino kani pauchi oke mino ta oke mao tamius kakuchi tamiu o mam tres kanwa keswas kawich keswas keita estapo keita wistawa evanista na kakyo umote kami pauya. Eko, Taskina, Montreal, Laurence, eko, Pelegineros, Peter Valentine, eko Nikina, eko nihan Askia, Tasaway naman. I see what eko takarats, kakyo saway, mate samaka. Nista na ako kapitote ng kakpi. Ego mento tamatan. Saway tamidyoy. Ego saway na semanto. Ego says mo Jesus. Ay hay.
Thank you very much, Elder. At this time, dignitaries will have you go and line up and grab your food. The first group of dancers who we're going to go through is according to the sheet, will be the jiggers. Jiggers, you will be first, or do you want the powwow dancers to go first?
Powwow dancers are going to go first.
Okay, so powwow dancers, I apologize, you are first. Powwow dancers, you are first.
Oh, on the stage. Cool. That's good, or should I move? Because people are going to be back and forth.
Okay, so what we're going to do is change the plan. Jiggers, I apologize. They have to leave. So, yeah, Jiggers, you have the stage. All Jiggers, you have the stage. Singers, don't forget to speak yourselves as well. You are the heartbeat of our nation. With the prayers with that drum, okay? And do we have sound for the jiggers?
Are they jigging? Veronica too. You should go join them. Oh my god. We could probably pick a background here today. Yeah. Picture for my wife. Yeah, let's do that, eh? Like background where? Somewhere plain, eh? Whenever you have a chance. Okay. There's nothing plain out here, eh? It's all decorated.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe by that William Charles thing.
Okay.
By William Charles there?
Yeah.
There's a couple of spaces there.
Okay. There's an empty space
there. We don't bother your sister. Okay, let me shoot this. Open your mouth. One shot. If I move it, toilet paper.
All right, once our fingers are ready, we get the high sound. I know they're going to give us quite a show here this afternoon. And these are our professional elite division. That's what these guys are. Upcoming stars. And that's the way it should be, folks. You know, we encourage our young people to bring out their talents so that they, in the future, can teach others. All right, here we go.
Sorry about that, we're having some technical difficulties here. Okay, so while you guys are lining up to eat, we'll get started here with our little entertainment. These are a group of grade 1, 3, and 4. So a few of them have been practicing for a few years, so they're getting up there. One day they'll be with more elite, with the Stompers hopefully. So here we go. Are we ready, boys and girls?
How did you get moving first? Oh, I did all that. Can you do all that? That's just a little tool in there for these. But these things are starting to fall apart. I gotta get a new one. A new one. There they go. You can dance too. Just dance right there. Let's go. Right here. Dance everywhere. Do it scared. Before I start.
Is Shane available? Shane, can you come up here for a minute, please?
Yeah? Shane saved the day. Look at Veronica doing some twists. And look, Maya.
How much people you want to?
7. But after I load it, it'll be probably 500 tonight and more. I haven't downloaded it yet, or I haven't saved it yet.
Never mind making a plate.
Have to be at least this old.
That's right, and right there is in this chapter. The helper of the traditional part where you do grand entry, you do the smart figure. That's his job.
Can we just watch them?
Check. At least they didn't roll it. Oh, look at that, they're lifting up their feet. Go say hi. Let's go. There's a chair right there, look. Go sit on that.
Carol. Let's go. As Chief Cook Searson always says, Gerald, you just love listening to yourself. All right, thank you very much, sir. Jiggers, powwow dancers. What we're going to do is we're going to go on category first. Or we'll just put all the women category. No. All right, this is what we're going to do, dancers. We're going to give you the first song, straight song, 2 starts only, right? Or you guys pro, you can do all 8. Yeah, you get 2 songs, 2 starts each, because we are pressed for time. Unfortunately, this is how it's going to be here. Right? Yeah, so what we're going to do is, and it'll be a side step next, right after that, correct? Yeah, so it'll be straight song, 2 starts, side step, 2 starts, all right? That's how we're going to do that this afternoon. For those of you who don't know, the Jingle Dress Dancer, long story short, is one of our healing dancers in our women's division. A mother and a grandmother by the name of Maggie White. One of her children got very sickly, and she was gifted this dream on how to heal her child in the early 70s. This dream became what we know today as the healing dance, the Jingle Dress Dance. Later on, these ladies, throughout time, will be going to ceremonies and will be gifted a ceremony purse to hold tobacco. They too will take tobacco and help those heal. The other dancer is the fancy shawl dancer. The dancer, the butterfly dancer as we know it, represents the new year, the beginning of life every spring. She is the one that comes in swiftly, melts the snow, brings on the flowers, the beginning growth of our medicines that are there. The fancy shawl dancer represents the morning star of the first morning of prayer. After that, we have a women's traditional dancer there as well. She's the grandmother of all dancers who carries the stories from one generation to the next. And she's the one that helps the mothers become mothers, and the daughters become daughters through her wisdom. And the overall keeper of all ceremonies is our traditional dancer. So at this time, Iron Swing, let's give him that straight song. How was that? Think about it. So for the women's category, we have the women's traditional jingle and for the fancy shawl. The fancy shawl is the fastest of that division. We have different types of songs too as well. The first song, as you heard, was called a straight song. Second song they're going to be is a contemporary contest song. This is what they're going to be going in. Particularly, this is what we call a side step. Oh boy, son. Nigga, let's make these ladies dance. Side step. Thank you, singer. At this time, we have our women's. Are we going to do our women's traditional? Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going into our men's category here, ladies and gentlemen. Normally in this category, we have 4 categories: men's fancy, men's grass, men's chicken, and of course what we have here before you is called men's traditional. This dancer here is who we know as legend of Saskatchewan, Mr. Clayton Keenach. Well known throughout the Powell family here in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, and I've definitely traveled all over the place. So we're going to give him a straight song, 2 starts. What's your second song? Crow hop, side step, duck and dive. Oh, okay, we're going to shake them up. All right, here we go. Clayton Keenach. You guys know about this dancer. His regalia on the average will weigh up to 80 pounds as he's dancing. Just so you know, beadwork is very, very heavy. The bustles, everything that he wears weights him down. So you have to be in the best shape to dance in these categories. And that's why I look the way I
Weigh
do.
yourself? What do you sit on those, stand on those things?
Lazy. All right, this time we're going to sneak them upwards. Is that what we're doing? Crumb hop. Holy smokes. I think he's ready. Iron Swing's ready. All right, let's make him go. Singer, thank you, dancer. This concludes our power demonstration. Up next, we got the ML Stoppers. Come on in, you are on deck. All right, here we got. Oh, very cool.
You gotta jump.
Hi. How are you?
Hey.
How are you? Hi. How are you doing? Good.
Tell her why you're here.
Why are you guys here?
Tell her. You're sneaking in, right? They were late for school.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm supposed to go to class, but
I'll start by introducing myself and my dance partner over here.
I love your nails.
Okay, so my name's Ashley Michelle. Right here is Moses Cook. We are from the Peter Valentine Cree Nation. We are the jigging instructors of the ML Stompers back here. So we started traveling up to Montreal about 3 years ago.
I want to get a video.
We started off by having a beginner jigging class and
or maybe right
just teaching the basic step of the Red River jig. And then me and Moses, we noticed that we had a few jiggers who already knew how to jig, and then there was a few who were learning very quickly. So we said, hey, let's make a square dance group. Why not? Let's check it out. So we had 5 dancers. Their very first performance was here at the youth center. They performed at the Christmas party in 2024. And then, so after that performance, we had a few more dancers who wanted to join. And we were like, okay, so we had them perform or compete at the PAGC Fine Arts Festival, and they did amazing there too. And then so their next performance was at the Back to Batoche Days of 2025, where they made themselves known. They did absolutely awesome. So yeah, we had quite the journey so far, and these kids, they're so amazing. We travel up once a week. They're always at practice, always ready to practice. You know, they put in the hard work, and
not only that, but they really enjoy what they do. Me and Moses are actually square dancers as well. We have our own group called the Northern Prairie Dancers. So our main goal as a group is, people in our group, we go out and teach jigging like this in communities. We just want to keep that tradition going in the square dancing and Red River Jig and that. So with that being said, I will start by introducing the ML Stompers. I'll start over here. So we have Hayden Seawalk. Let's give him a round of applause. Hayden Seawalk's from Pelican Narrows, but he resides in Montreal Lake. His partner is my daughter, Chloe Michelle, from Pelican Narrows. Right here, we have Dylan Henderson, Montreal Lake. And then we have Brooklyn Stewart, Montreal Lake. Make sure you guys wave, okay? And then we have Harlan Seawalk. He's from Pelican Narrows, lives here in Montreal Lake. And then we have his partner, Siobhan McDonald, Montreal Lake. Then we have Heath Seawalk, Pelican Narrows, but lives in Montreal Lake. So we have 3 brothers in this group. So can the 3 brothers take a step forward? 3 brothers. They're a bit shy. Let's give a round of applause. And last but not least, right here we have Alyssa Natauha, Montreal Lake. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, line up. Oh, actually, on behalf of the ML Stompers, we'd like to say thank you to the Montreal Lake Prevention Team. They actually bought them their brand new clickers, and then they also got the brand new crinolines and their brand new outfits. And this is their first time performing in them. Okay, we got the music.
If you want to hire them, you just talk to that lady over there someday. Yeah. For the event. Hey, what's the massage?
We're just going to do a quick sound check here.
Okay. I think they give it a second. And they've never just started.
Can we turn it? Can we get it a little bit louder?
Okay, thank you. Oh, they're lighting up. Finally. So there's a lady that lives here from Pelican Narrows, and that's 3 of her boys. She's watching online.
Oh, wow. So where are you
Here. I'm one of the portfolio counselors. I'm one of the counselors. Thank you. My name is
Okay, what did you guys think of that first dance? They did good, right? They were a bit nervous, but this is their first time performing in their clickers, so I think they did absolutely good. So I'll just let them have a quick drink of water, and then we just have one more dance for you guys. This one's more of a high energy dance. In square dancing, at the end of performances, it's called a breakdown. So this fiddle tune starts off with Whiskey Before Breakfast, and then it goes into Red River Jig, into Big John McNeil, and then ends off with an Orange Boston Special.
Man, oh man, oh man. Holy smokes. To see our children go the way they are going, I'm so proud of Ashley, Michelle, and the entire team, the power demonstration, as well as our jigging team. Let's give everyone a round of applause there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, at this time, it's back to business. I just want to acknowledge, particularly, let's give a huge round to our cooks here this afternoon. Thank you very much, cooks. We're greatly appreciated. All right, let's get back to our respective seats. And at this time, I call upon Ted Monroe, Saskatchewan Marshal, Superintendent. Please come on forward. And there he is.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank the elders for their prayer. Hopefully, one more minute. I'd like to thank everybody here that's attended this significant day, and all the elected officials. We were just going to thank Premier Stockholm and the three chiefs sitting beside him there, Chief Captain Cook Searson, and our host, Chief McLeod. The Saskatchewan Marshals has a newly formed police agency in the province. One of our biggest mandates, obviously, is to work with our other police agencies to dismantle and disrupt organized crime. The main focus of that, obviously, as we've seen our crime increase across the province, is to go out and specifically target those individuals that are disrupting your communities and making that impact and the safety of communities like Montreal at risk. Another aspect as a newly found police agency is being reflective and restrictive of a police force, bringing those individuals into our agency that are reflective of who we are. A strong focus on cultural awareness, strong focus on recruitment of Indigenous people. Is one of the only Indigenous individuals in there after 30 years of the RCB coming over. A strong focus was to be receptive and reflective of who we are as Indigenous people. And that's one of the things the Marshals are doing. We're going out and meeting with the First Nations, and we're hopefully recruiting a number of those individuals into our agency. With that, there's been an enhanced initiative by our Deputy Chief, Thomas Mickey, to go out and meet with people, and bring elected officials, to make them aware of who we are and what we're striving to do. Again, at the end of the day, it's all to provide a proper service and work with, in your area, the RCP, to make sure that your community is safe. And with that, have a great afternoon, and thanks for allowing me to come and speak. Hey.
At this time, we'll call upon Darlene Rowden, Minister of Environment. Come on this way. Darlene, there you are.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I won't take up a lot of your time. Thank you for inviting me here today for the Treaty 6 occasion. It's a very important day for all of us in Treaty 6. And just so everyone knows, I live just south of Prince Albert. for bringing us up here and leading us in this important work. Eric Schmaltz, Minister Eric Schmaltz, Minister Tim McLeod, Minister Alana Ross, MLA Kevin Kassoon, MLA Jamie Martin, and MLA Megan Patterson as well. Also my colleagues across the aisle, MLA Jordan McPhail and Opposition Leader Carla Beck was here. It was nice to see us all for this important occasion. So with that, I'm not going to keep much more of your time. It was wonderful to be here, and I look forward to the next time.
Thank you very much, Darlene. Next, we have Alana Ross, Minister of Arts, Culture, Sports, and the MLAPA North Coast. Here we are.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I really didn't intend to speak today, but it's been such a pleasure to have the opportunity to join you here today. Thank you to the elders, to the drummers for starting this event off in such a good way, to all the dignitaries who are here, the chiefs, my legislative colleagues from both sides of the House. It is an honor for all of us to be here. This is such an important day. You know, the signing for Adhesion 6 with treaties. So I was very blessed to have been Dr. Walker here too from the, there she is, from the commission. When the treaty timeline was unveiled at our Western Development Museums, I had the honor of representing the province there for that very important day. And I'm proud to say that a timeline, as you see here, has been traveling across our province to be able to teach people about the Treaty 6 and the importance of it and the timeline that happened. And it's been displayed in our Western Development Museums across the province. And it's going to have a permanent home in Saskatchewan once the tour is finished. So it's a very important work that she is doing at the Treaty Office and sharing the history that is so important to all of us who live here. And I'm very lucky. I'm also the Minister for the Status of Women. And when I look to our chiefs who are here today, and so many strong female leaders that we have in our room here today, I feel very blessed to be among you here. But thank you for the opportunity to be here. It has truly been an honor, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Tim? All right. Last but not least, the greatest man of them all, Tim McLeod, Minister of the Justice and Attorney General. He's the one that will get us out of trouble when we need him. Thank you very much, Tim.
No pressure at all. Thank you, Premier. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the day. I want to thank the elders this morning for starting us in a good way. Thank you to the entertainers, the wonderful dancing. Thank you to the people who prepared the food. That was a fantastic traditional meal. We feel very well hosted every time we come and visit your northern communities. I myself am visiting from Treaty 4 territory. I reside in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And as was mentioned, I'm currently blessed to hold the file of Minister of Justice and Attorney General. And when we talk about treaties and collaboration and the partnerships that we have coming out of treaties, I think about the work that I am blessed and honored to do each and every day, and that collaboration is what we see and it's what's so critically important, I think, between our communities, with our Indigenous leaders, with our provincial leaders, our municipal leaders, continuing to work to address the problems that we're all facing, the challenges that we face, particularly in the justice system, where we see our communities impacted by the drugs, the crime, and the work that we can do together, collaborating together as our ancestors did when they collaborated on the treaties. Working to resolve those issues, listening to the communities, listening to the feedback, being able to add more police officers. Thank you to our officers who are here with the Marshal Service and the RCMP, our partners, battling crime, battling drugs, helping us face the challenges of addiction that are gripping all of our communities across the province. And that's why in the role that I'm in, I'm just absolutely honored to be able to collaborate with communities to address those problems, adding more police officers, making sure that they have the tools that they need to remove the drugs, the dangerous poisons that are in our communities, expanding addiction treatment facilities across the province, helping those who are facing that challenge of addiction, helping families heal and strengthen communities. And that all comes from a place of collaboration. We celebrate today the anniversary of the adhesion to the treaty, and that is an example of what collaboration can get us. And here we are looking back on a century or more of that collaborative work, and I hope that the work that we're continuing to do each and every day yields the positive results that we all see today. So thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you for the wonderful day. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much there, Tim. All right, this concludes all our speakers. Chief was, we're going to be doing presentations to our visitors. And at this time, I'll bring up the counselors to help out with that, towards that presentation. I just want to say a few words to our leaders of Saskatchewan who are here. Scott Moe, Carla, and everyone else. As the people of Montreal and Lawrence wait on a decision of the Timber Bay Residential School, as a survivor myself of the Timber Bay Residential School and a survivor of the Prince Albert Indian Residential School, we cannot express enough that we need to move forward to have that school recognized to the federal government of Canada. Many of our elders are leaving to the spirit world in hopes that school will be federally recognized just as what it is. It is a residential school. So my message from a residential school survivor, the leaders of Saskatchewan, that we ask of you to take this to your table in all seriousness, to bring this to light. So I thank you for listening to what I have to say as the survivor of the Timber Bay Residential School. Hi. So at this time we ask Roger Humbleberg.
Thank you, Gerald. Some closing comments on behalf of myself, I guess. First of all, an announcement here. Our annual Walleye Derby, 18th annual Walleye Derby, March 21st. If you don't have it on your calendar, and you want to put that on there, come and visit us. You don't have to fish. Just buy a 50-50 ticket. Win yourself $2. That's March 21st. And Premier Moe mentioned that they're working on his government. The Sask Party government are working on converting the Wallanosa lands to treaty status. And I hope that that can take place during our time, while we're still here on Earth. And I hope that's soon. That's my only request, I guess, that we work on it and speed it up a little bit. As we know, I mentioned earlier, we're missing so many elders that should be here that are not here. I think of one of my elders today, who's sitting in the hospital bed right now, Leonard Billy-Bird. He loves to attend events like this, especially when there's politicians, and he's not able to join us today. But we pray that he can get well. And in regards to language, lands and language, I think they go hand in hand. I'd like to acknowledge Abel Charles and the work that he does on behalf of Mississippi Broadcasting. They've been around for quite a number of years, so I want to thank Abel for his presence here today. To our leadership that's here, our chief, our council members, I know we're missing our Little Red Council and one of our urban councilors from Saskatchewan. They're not here. But I want to say that when I see our leadership, is they work together. And we need to continue to support our leaders, no matter what's happening in our communities, both Little Red, Montreal, and the urban sector. But we need to stand together and support each other, and also support them as well. And last but not least, I'd like to remember our past leaders. You see around the room here, we have to honor and remember our past leaders. They're the trailblazers. When we talk about treaty, they're the ones that help what we enjoy today. Our education, our status, health benefits, and the list goes on. We have to acknowledge, we have to remember them. It's important that we keep their memory alive. And I just want to thank you guys for being here today. Big skirt on the Kapsita, Exclam Moya Sky. That's what he's up to that big skirt. Then Dana Kinis, the Anthony Exclam, I was to ask me if big skirt on Rochi Damasko, Kapsita and Isikascoana. You said Naskaman, I thank the chief, I thank the leadership. It's an honor for me to be up here to assist in a small way and be an MC this afternoon. So with that, I'll turn it over to Gerald from introduction and our closing comments. I'd like to ask Vice Chief Henderson to the podium. Vice Chief. Thank you, Roger. I just wanted to mention, where our Treaty 6 was signed, there's a camp there. That was the late Harold Johnson's camp that he built 100 yards from the actual signing site. Premier, you got to visit it with us at one time. But I want to propose that in the future we go and celebrate February 11th at the actual site. It'll take a lot of work. We plow a road out there. We put up our tents. There's 2 cabins there. There's a Quonset. We can make it happen. For the 100th year, I was 13 years old, and we did that. We took all the school and school buses, and we went across there for the 100th year celebration. And I want to propose we do that next year, maybe, or the year after. But let's do it. Let's do that. All right. I want to get that done. I want to do it. Then everybody can see the site, the actual signing site, how beautiful it is there. Bring your snowmobiles. Bring your snowmobiles. Let's make a day of it and just have a great time. I want to thank all our education staff, all our prevention staff, everybody that made this happen. I want to especially thank our cooks for that great meal. I got to be part of, Troy, my colleague here, and I were part of the hunt, that moose meat that you're eating there. We took some youth from the schools, some high school students, and we went hunting, and we were fortunate enough to harvest some moose.
So that's what you're reading there. It was done by, the youth and some of our community members and some of our leadership, where we practice our treaty rights, our land-based healing, our land-based learning, and just got to have a great time, So I want to especially thank Jared Nelson for getting all the fish. That's a lot of work. He was out there setting nets. It's not easy to set a net in the winter when the ice is already thick. So to Jared and the land-based team that are in the back, where they're not even out here, but thank you to them for the great meal that they provided. So with that, I'm going to end it there. I know my colleague Carol wants to say a few words, so thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to take 5 minutes, sorry. I'm not going to have myself, but anyways, first of all, I just want to give thanks and acknowledge our Creator for today, because without Creator, we wouldn't be here. I also want to give thanks to the elder for the prayer, and I want to give thanks to the drum for being here, and the drum group for taking the drum with them and taking care of it. So this day is very important, and I'm really grateful for the team that I work with, because sometimes it'll be driving, sometimes it'll be whether we're one of us is at home and an idea comes, and we just add on to ideas, and then we work together as a team. So I really want to acknowledge my team that I work with, and the committee that did this and put everything together. Thank you for that. I just want to quickly go into the treaty rights here. So I'm not sure if any of you know Victor Thunderchild. I want to acknowledge him. He's no longer with us, but he was my Native Studies teacher in grade 10 to 12 at Carleton. And so, you too? So Victor Thunderchild, he really, in Native Studies, he really ingrained, every day, whatever it was he was teaching us, he would always mention the treaty rights. He would always mention, he's the one who taught me about 6.1 and 6.2, and how that's going to work in the future. He said, in the future, this is what's going to happen, this is how it's going to go, and this is what you need to do, and so, anyways, I just want to acknowledge him. I also want to say, mention a visit that we had to Ottawa here, I think it was about 3 months ago. So when we went to Ottawa, when we go to Ottawa, our goal is to advocate for our treaty rights. Now, what is missing from our nation? What do we need to work on? So one thing that was on the top of our list was, of course, housing plows, because that's what our members are requesting for, and every day they're asking for it. So we went and advocated. The next thing we went and advocated on was the fires. The fires that happened last summer, we had to evacuate 200 people, but we had maybe 100 elders that said, I'm not leaving. So because of the fire in 2015, they had that trauma of when they did leave the nation. And so, they didn't want to leave. They said, I'm going to stay here. And so they stayed with us, and they, it was really smoky here. So I wanted to mention that, because how does that relate to the treaty rights? When we were in the midst of, the fire is 13 kilometers away from the nation, and what are we going to do? We had to decide how we were going to work as a team. 7 o'clock on a Saturday night emergency meeting, and we decided, well, we're going to make some fire. What are they called? Fire guards. Yeah, we were going to make fire guards, and so we're like, well, we're told if you make a fire guard on provincial land, you can be taken to court. And from there, we're like, well, because we're on federal land right now, and it was provincial land where the fire was. At that point, we just said, okay, well, we'll go to court. If that's what we have to do, then we'll go to court. So said, we'll call around. So she made calls, and then she ended up calling Scott here, and Scott sent out, the next day sent out those fire guards, and of course everybody here knows that there was those big, I can't even find the right word, those red sprinklers. You know, everybody was sprinklers. Sorry. But yeah, so it's just working together, you know, that's what we had to do. We sent them out. We were worried about Molinosa, the camp out there. What happened was SPSA, you know, they sent out sprinklers for the camp there too, and the helicopter was dropping those sprinklers set up there. So it's working together. So that was something we talked about and how we need to work on that more when we're in Ottawa. Next thing is we talked about the health transfer agreement. So I'm not sure if anybody who's sitting here, the dignitaries, know that Montreal Cree Nation is the first nation in Canada to have a health transfer agreement with the federal government. And when we did this health transfer agreement, we didn't, there's some things that we didn't agree on. So the one thing we did not agree on was that the provincial government would oversee the long-term care funding for our elders. So Roger just mentioned that one of our elders, who would have been here in the building with us, is sick in the hospital right now. What happens is when sometimes our elders are not able to come home to be taken care of, they have to go into a long-term care home. So they wait in the hospital until a bed is ready. And where is the bed? Sometimes the bed is in Shelbrook, Ipwin, you know, Big River, wherever it is. You know, that's where they have to go. They're at home, and then they go to the hospital, and then they're going to a random long-term care home. So what we're doing right now at Montreal Lake is we're advocating, saying that no, we need to take care of our elders. So we're meeting with SHA, meeting with Scott Moe, we're continuously saying that we need to take care of our elders on our own. We can't be sending them to these homes. The next thing is the detox funding. That's another thing we didn't agree on. When that health transfer agreement was made, we need to take care of our own members with detox. So we do have a detox in our community, but it's not funded, you know, federally, provincially. What we had to do is our mental wellness from our health center is funding that right now. So we need more. We're continuing to advocate for that. So when we're in Ottawa, that's what we advocated for. I just wanted to mention those because those are our treaty rights. You know, when we're continuously advocating, when we talk about hunting, fishing, I won't tell you how much fish Dean caught on Sunday, but April outfished him. Yeah, but anyways, you know, we go out fishing and hunting. Chief and I, we're in a meeting in the morning. We got told, hey, are you guys going to give you a trapper's license? So we went and sat in, we did our trapper's license, and we did a test, and yeah, we passed, so we are certified trappers now. Yes, I just wanted to mention those, like there's so much more I can talk about because I am a former teacher. I can still talk here for hours. But I want to say thank you to the dancers and all stompers, and thank you everyone for coming because it's a special day, important day, and we all have to work together because we are all treating people. And thank you, Dr. Kathy Walker, for everything that you mentioned. Like I said, hi.
Thank you very much, Carol. At this time, we're going to go into presentations of the blanket and the medallions. So we'll call upon Roger to give the lists. Who's the list? All right. So, Teddy Monroe, come on this way there, buddy. No, he did his already. All right. So at this time, I'll go down the list here. First and foremost, the Premier of Saskatchewan. Oh, he's doing an interview. Holy, this call costs us Indian time. All right. The MLA of Cumberland, Jordan McPhail, come on this way. We got some beautiful gifts for you. And there we go, thank you very much. Kevin Casson, MLA, Prince Albert. Thank you very much, Kevin. Minister of Environment, Darlene Rodin. There we go. We say that with attitude. Hey, way to go. Okay, once you get your gifts, got ladies in the back with a sweater for you as well. Come on this way, darling. And then we'll take a picture. All right, thank you very much, Darlene. MLA Martinsville, Jamie Martins. Come on this way. Behind me, there we go. It'll get you to pull on your beautiful gift. Wow, these are beautiful. All right, where's our camera person? Where did she go? Chief. Yeah. Okay, we'll get her to get a sweater first. And then we'll bring her back in pictures. Yeah. Where did she take off to? Oh, there you are. Yeah. Yeah. No, well, she's coming right back. Yeah. Good. Nice. Yeah, we're still waiting for you. Yeah. Thank you very much. The Minister of First Nations, Métis, and the Northern Affairs, none other than Mr. Eric Smalls. Come on this way, everybody. Got a question for you. Is your dad Smalls in PA? He owes me a car. Must be a transmission, yeah. Thank you very much, Eric. The Minister of Parks, Culture and Sports and Recreation and MLA PA North Code, Alana Ross. Thank you very much, Alana. The MLA Moose Job, Megan Patterson. Hi, Megan. Get you to put on your medallion a little bit. Hold it. They really bring out her eyes. Oh yes, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, the legend, Tim McLeod. Oh man, we are going to love you on behalf of our First Nations up in Montreal. Get you to put on your medallion. And then hold it up so we can. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. McLeod. Sorry about that, but I really like you. Yeah. All right. The North District RCMP Inspector, Chad McLeod. Where are you, young man? I'm really here somewhere. There he is. Let's give him a round of applause. This is the guy who we're going to turn into one of our honored citizens of Montreal Lake. These are beautiful. Her phone died. We got, yeah, there we go. All right, we need another phone. Yeah, Chelsea, there she is. She's right there.
Just quickly, I'm going to take the microphone away from Gerald. Now, we get Ted to do a presentation here. Ted? Thomas?
Chief Joyce, on behalf of Saskatchewan Marshal Service, it gives us pleasure to present you with a blanket and a challenge coin to show our dedication to your nation as we go forward. Thank you.
All right. The North District RCMP Sergeant Jesse Gilbert. There we go. Come on this way, young man. Get you to put your medallion on. Just so you guys know, that medallions that you've taken a lot of hours to make, and respectful to the artist, definitely brings out your eyes. There you go. All right, thank you very much, sir. Come on this way, Jesse. Jesse, there we go. The RCMP North District Staff Sergeant Danielle Nizinski. Come on this way, young man. There you go. All right, thank you very much. There we go. Saskatchewan Marshal Deputy Chief Thomas Sorzinski. There we go. I think we got to Cree here already, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll go with yeah. Here we go, here. Those are absolutely beautiful. the Honorable Scott Moe, Premier of Saskatchewan. Next person tells me the tippy toe. I got RCP backing me up here. Does it say? Okay. All right, who do we got here next? I think are we missing anyone just by? Yes. Where are you? You're not on the list. There we are. The Treaty Commissioner, Kathy Walker, come on this way. Yeah. Dr. Kathy Walker.
My hat's gone. My hat's loose. No, it's not. Don't you
Whip out me. Yeah.
Oh, it's because I can't wait to wash it. No. Oh, yeah.
Smile. All right, so just so you all know, in the little bags, there's jam in there. I want to acknowledge the Chief of Montreal Cree Nation. She's the one who packed them all. All right. Thank you, Chief Joyce. Chief Dan. Cook Searson, come on this way. Yeah. Oh, the Black Orange Indian Band. And we got a shirt for you there, too. One more. Derek Gardner, come on this way. And he is the, oh, there we go. Our red coat here for the RCMP. And our keeper. Thank you very much there, red coat. And we got a sweater for you. All right. And I think we got everyone here. And am I missing everybody got theirs?
I'm just stealing the microphone from him. We also want to acknowledge our MCs, so that's why I took the microphone. Thank you, Gerald. Come on up. It brings up your eyes. Okay, and we also want to acknowledge Roger Bird. I'm just going to give him a different last name, but I can't do that. Thank you for being here at MC today.
One more. Teddy Monroe. The Saskatchewan Marshal Superintendent on this side. Yeah. And make sure you put it on the towel. Thank you very much, Ted. Okay, sir. At this time, flag carriers, you know who you are, dignitaries. Let's get you assembled on the side here. We'll take you out in a good way as we put down the Eagle staff flags as well as the flags themselves.
Folks, I know everybody's got busy schedules, but let's thank all our MLAs, right from the NDP party to SAS party to our premier. I know he's got a busy schedule. He's got to take off to Regina tonight. So I want to thank Premier Scott Moe and our MLAs, to Eric Spouts, to the rest of the crew. Thank you for being here. Sorry, I can't remember all the names, but you guys, thank you for visiting our nation here today. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to the ladies from Montreal Nation. So thank you for your presence here today.
All right, thank you very much. Flag carriers, or if anyone wanting to carry a flag, go and grab them in the corner. Flag carriers, you have first go, grab your own flag. Yeah. And we're going to do a quick draw for $100.
100 smackers.
And 3 dirty tickets. All right. And gloves made by Blackstone.
Look at those gloves.
First dollars for $100. Ticket number, the orange one, 24621. If you have ticket number 24621, we'll get all the dignitaries to come on to my right here. For $100, 24621, you have to be here to win. Going once, going twice, redraw. Orange ticket, 24615 for $100. 615, the last 3 digits. Going once, going twice, gone. Sorry. Last 3 numbers, 710. 710. Going once. Come on this way. Come get your hula. Chelsea, he knows who you are. You're shy. She's messing with you. That's good, yeah. All right, for the gloves, derby tickets. For 3 of them, right? Or 3, 1 each. Okay, first one is 724. Going once, 724. Last 3 numbers, going once, twice, gone. Oh, she got it? Yeah, come on this way, yeah. 724, last 3 numbers. Yeah, folks need to come up with the legs. They can't see behind the flags.
A what?
Yeah.
A picture, no? I'm doing video.
Congratulations.
Live video. Really? Yeah, all day.
Oh, yeah? Oh, no.
Okay, 621. Oh, sorry.
Go move it.
To the next
Don't
one.
shake. 2 people are watching.
23701.
Y'all say hi to Conrad.
Don't no.
Going to congrats. Yeah.
I want to do the
All right, ticket number 23701.
But you got to keep it still.
Okay.
Put your hand on this side.
She's shaking it.
Yeah. It's okay. Move back.
2, 3, 5, 4, 1. 5, 4, 1. Going once. Oh, there you go. Very cool. It was his birthday this past weekend, probably. I sang him a traditional birthday song for him.
Yeah, say hi to Conrad.
2, 3, 5.
Go red.
It's been a long day. 2, 3, 5, 9, 7. Right here. MJ. All right, we running a goal there, aren't we? We'll have everyone behind the flags. We'll take you out. Come on this way, dignitaries. Oh, if anyone wants to grab a flag, come and grab them. Please don't. Go grab a flag over there. Keeper.
Go grab a flag.
Any men go and grab a flag in the corner. We need to dance them out. Can't leave any of them back. Come on, boys, grab a flag. We need one more here, gentlemen. Go ahead, Brian. Thank you, we'll lead them on. At this time, people, let us all rise. It is time to retire the colors for this celebration here today. That being one of our most important celebrations for our First Nations people, the 36th Adhesion. So with that, our swing, one and a go. Let's take them out. Homeboy Sack. Let's take them home.
down.
Thank you for being live.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Stop, sir. Let's take off. Oh,
I'll hold that.
sorry.
I'll hold that Canada.
Here.
Brown filming.
We go back to the, what you call it?
Okay.
Thursday night, 6:30 start. Wrapping off our
Hey,
ripping off
it's
our
me.
snowmobile.
I'm Canada. Yeah, I'm Canada. Kid. I'm
Radio Bingo.
Just kidding.
56 hours.
We will get money. Okay, jig then. Jig. Yeah, he's gonna jig. Jig. Sound like it's just. Stop. I don't know. He's acting up. You're not doing it right. Don't grab it from me. You tell Papa you're not doing it right. Okay, I don't know how it's supposed to go. Like. Besides, they will know there's a kid doing it. And they don't like the kids doing it. No. This is how comics film. It's not a TikTok, it's not a video. Where's this guy? He's playing. He's outside with him. I think Conrad's coming right now. Conrad's over there. It's film. It's film. Where is they? I see love. Say hi.
You still going?
Yeah.
All right.
You have a great day.
You too.
You have a
Thanks
nice
for
day.
coming. Yes, sir. Say bye.
Bye.